Hello everyone, my name is Ron. For the GMTK Jam 2020, I made a game called The Cold Climb. For those of you who don't know what a game jam is, it's where you make a game under a set period of time, adhering to a certain theme. And the theme was out of control. And I made a platformer where the jump was out of control. It didn't do terribly well. You can see here that the presentation was the best one, and overall it didn't score too well. But the people who did play it did seem to enjoy it quite a bit. And so what I'd like to do now is I would like to take this game and develop it to a proper standard and release it on itch.io for money. To have like a Cold Climb Jam version and a proper Cold Climb. And I'd like to document the process through these kind of devlog type things. I've been watching them through YouTube and I really like watching them. So I thought, why not try my hand at also making one as well? They're going to be very much like this, very much like shoot from the hip, unscripted kind of thing. Because I don't want this to take away from the actual game development. I just want this to kind of be like a fun, updatey, here's what I'm working on kind of video. So yeah, this is not the first project I've tried to complete. I tried to complete a game called Summoner, which was a necromancer who was supposed to live in a village and summon things. I think the actual idea was quite fun. The problem is I lacked the skill to pull it off properly. The level design was very poor. The enemy AI was pretty basic. And it was just far too ambitious for a first game. And so I'd like to work on a platformer now, because a platformer is just more naturally engaging. A platformer can be fun without enemies. The jump mechanic itself couldn't be, inherently fun, as opposed to, having to walk around a world. I can just make discrete levels which can be used for all kinds of fun things, instead of, say, having to make lots of new enemy types, lots of new boss fights. I can instead focus on pure level design and pure game mechanics as much as possible. And I'm hoping that will keep my scope creep in check. At least I'm hoping so. Fingers crossed, hey? I guess you guys, if anyone ever sees this, I guess you guys will be the judge, But hopefully, it'll go well. So without further ado, I think it's probably best if I just boot in to the Cold Climb Jam version. So let's just run that. So it boots up. We have some music playing, and you have to help the Lost Explorer get home. And he'll jump when he's cold, so he's trying to stay warm. So if we boot into it, we've got this little man. Can move him backwards and forwards, and he turns blue before he jumps, and then he jumps. So the problem, first off, which is really obvious, is there's very little indication of when he's about to jump. There needs to be some kind of cold meter, I think. And there also, he needs to flash before he's about to jump as well, not just turn blue. There needs to be more indication of when he's going to do that. Also, this level design is actually quite hard, especially, the collision mechanics are also dodgy. So the level design is hard, and the collision mechanics are a bit off. And I think this first level is okay. It's still too hard for a first level, especially for a game jam game where you really want people to be able to pick up and play right away. There's a lot of waiting for things to happen, and yeah, I like the idea of the jump being out of the player's control. I want to work with it, but it's not fully utilized here. And also there's other things like background decoration not being quite right. You can see those mountains. It's sometimes quite hard to distinguish them from the actual level design, like this platform here. It's not entirely clear where the snow starts on the mountain and where the platform begins. So that's just like a basic background thing. So yeah, I'm quite happy with how it turned out in 48 hours. but I think I can do quite a lot better over a longer time period, and I'd like to do this idea, some proper justice. And, also improve like a whole load of optimization things. So like each one of these blocks is actually like an object. So for those of you who are programming inclined, that's really inefficient for a game. You want to have like each one of these solid blocks should be an object. So each one of these blocks should be an object, but instead it's just each little individual square is its own unique object, which is very sloppy. But again, it was made in 48 hours, that's why it was sloppy. So yeah, hopefully I can develop it further. Hopefully I can get it working. So yeah, that's the Cold Climb Jam version. And I think if I just close this down, I'll then quickly show you guys what I've been working on in the interim. So now let's have a look at the proper Cold Climb as it stands at the moment. So again, same title screen, not had a chance to change that. You've got the music still playing, and push enter. So already you can see I've changed to a tileset version. You can see that the character has more momentum, more weight to him now, so he feels like he's real. I've turned off his automatic jump for now. Instead, I'm just going to do this with the spacebar. So you can see he jumps, and the collisions are sometimes better, but yeah, you can see here that at the moment I'm suffering with an issue where his hitbox, I think, overlaps with the wall, and that does something funky with my code. And you can just see him warping from point to point, and I don't think I can save this, because there's actually another issue. Hang on, let me pause and rerun this. So there's also another issue with the collisions that I'm currently working on, which is if you jump underneath a platform, you immediately just reset and you go straight back down. So the reason for this is that the collisions are kind of a weird amalgamation of the platformer tutorial done by Yo-Yo Games and Sean Spaulding and the original Cold Climb jump mechanic, because I like my jump arc. I like how tall it is. I like that it feels like there's something happening. And I don't want it to feel heavy. I want him to feel floaty. I like that floaty jump arc. I don't know why. It just feels nice, and so I want to keep it. But that also means a lot of the more proper code that's done in response to like actual platform challenges isn't actually being carried over. And you can also see I'm having an issue with the momentum here, where he'll just randomly stop instead of continuing to go over. So that also needs fixing. So yeah, there's just whole kinds of weird bugs where I'm trying to get the code to be more stable, and again I've got that horrible warp bug problem. Again, this may sound weird. It may look a little bit worse than the previous version at the moment, but this actually doesn't suffer from some of the same problems as the other one does, and I think the issues I'm having are solvable. I think I just need to edit my V-speed and H-speed, edit the hitboxes, and then I just need to figure out why my deceleration script is a bit over happy for, a bit over happy in terms of, slowing down the player. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. I hope you all enjoyed it, and yeah, let's see where this goes. I hope people have interesting suggestions, and I hope that it does well. Thanks for watching.